Welcome, vinyl fans, to my media museum. My name is Will, and if you remember in the last series of videos I put up, we were looking at this 50s and 60s top 40 box of vinyl records that a guy had put together for me and sold to me out at the flea market. Well, I had decided to make like a cow and move along from the 45 vinyl RPMs and do something else. But then last weekend I went to the flea market here and I ran across these. And these were sitting there on the table. One had the cover on and one had it off. And I glanced at a couple of them. You can see we've got the Stones and Led Zeppelin here right on top. It's like, there's got to be some good stuff in these, right? So I asked the guy, I said, well, how much are you wanting for these? And he said $10. I said, for all of them? He said, well, $10 each. These cases go for anywhere from $25 to $50 empty on eBay. These are the old Disc Go cases. Not Disc Go, but Disc Go. I'll show you a close-up of those in a second. So yeah, I jumped on it. 20 bucks for both of these. You know, over 100. 45 RPM vinyl records come with it. What a deal. Who's going to pass that up, right? But quickly here, I want to show you, once again, on this case here, I haven't seen one like this before. When I flipped it over to put it away, well, didn't flip it over to put it away, but while putting it away, I flipped it over, and it had this label on the bottom of it. And I thought this was interesting. They cut out the bottom of it so that the handles could fit in there and that you could stack these. And that's the only one that I've got like this. All my other ones have solid bottoms. So I thought that was rather interesting. And then here, real quickly, I just wanted to show you. Come on, phone, work with me here. Alright, well the phone ain't working at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and get something down here so that you've got something else to look at besides just a blank screen. And that would be Eric Clapton, After Midnight. Well, that's a great 45 to have. And here's what I was trying to get my phone to cooperate and show you when I'm talking about the Disco case. These came out right around the same time as the 45 RPM format. So you've got these from many different decades. Sometimes they've got really cool designs on the sides of them, and sometimes, usually, they're just plain. But I wanted to show you that real close. If you look to the channel, if you go to the channel's page and look at the playlist, there's a playlist for the pink case from Cheyenne, which is one of these that I got in an antique shop in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I paid $25 just for that one, but it again came filled with 45 vinyls, which I was thrilled to death about. So there's that series if you want to go back and see that, and it shows you some more of the labels. It came with the original paper labels that are inside on the bottom and on the top. These did not come with those labels. So if you want to see those labels, like I said, go to the channel's homepage, go to the playlist, and find the pink case from Cheyenne. Or you can simply look at the description over here, expand it, and there's a listing of all the playlist for all of the 45 RPM vinyl records that I have done thus far. So B-side here, Eric Clapton, was Easy Now. And yeah, love Eric Clapton. That's a really great vinyl to have. And if you look at the condition of these, all of these are in really great shape. They appear to have been owned by a single individual. I realize this one is an earlier one. After Midnight came out after Derek and the Dominoes, but Derek and the Dominoes is also Eric Clapton, for those of you in the know. And Layla, probably their biggest hit. Of course, this is the 2-minute 43-second single version of it, so it's a little bit different from what you would hear on the album. And the B-side of this was a song called I Am Yours. So, great album, awesome album. If you're an Eric Clapton fan, I'm sure you're familiar with it. But getting back to what I was saying, I believe all of these was owned by the same individual, because you'll see once we have a few autographs on some of them that it's the same name over and over. There are a few that's got some different names, but that doesn't mean there wasn't some trading going on, or that she bought some 45s off of one of her friends. Who knows? I don't know the individual, and it's not who I bought them from. I bought them from a young guy in his 20s, and the person that had this collection, built this collection, it was clearly an older individual who may or may not be with us anymore. Who knows? It looked like he was selling stuff that he had acquired at his storage unit. So, you know, sad stories. I hate to see that too, but I'm not going to pass up on an opportunity to buy a spindle of 45 RPM vinyl records for $10. But yeah, you never know the stories behind these things. I won't buy anything that I suspect might be stolen. No way. But it's perfectly legal when people don't pay their storage unit fees and someone comes in and buys them out. You see storage wars on TV. You've seen these TV shows. You know these things happen all the time. But here's a really great Eagles Witchy Woman, early 1972. And the B-side of that was a song called Early Bird. That's how we know this is an original edition. This is one that came out in 1972 when this song was put out, because you'll find that Witchy Woman with the other B-sides later on in reissues. But again, like I said, the condition of all these is beautiful. They may not have sleeves, but they've been in these disco cases that take really good care of them. And this one surprised me a bit because I do like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Biggest Nash fan out of those. And Young. It's Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. You know, Stephen Stills and Neil Young came out of Buffalo Springfield. And Graham Nash came from the Hollies, and David Crosby came from the Byrds. And they formed their supergroup, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and then later on, that's how Young came in. He always had an association with Stephen Stills. And I really like Stephen Stills and Graham Nash the best out of the four. But hey, you know, they were a great band, did a lot of great music together. And Menascus is another Stephen Stills project that I stumbled across, a mint condition, double album, gatefold, original release of at a garage sale a couple years back. And it's a prize collection, prize addition to my collection, I meant to say. And the B-side of this is a song called Rock and Roll Crazies Medley. So I meant to look this up to because I did go through these spindles roughly. I didn't go through them 100%, but I went through them and kind of sorted them out as to I would have bought this, I wouldn't have bought that, grouped some stuff together. We're going to have an entire episode at the end of just Donny Osmond and a few Osmond brothers thrown at the end. I think there's 21 out of this 100 and some. So she was a big Donny Osmond fan, and I wasn't too thrilled about that, tell you the truth, because I watched Donnie Marie back in the day, of course, and, you know, I got nothing against Donny Osmond, but it's not really my favorite type of music. If you've been watching the channel, you know I'm a 60s psych, 70s rock, and 80s metal guy, and Donny Osmond doesn't exactly fit in there too well. He's more like 70s pop. But anyways, the recent video that I did for Dance to Disco has got a lot of interest, tons of interest. So much so that I probably will film a lot more of the disco 45s that I have. I have a couple boxes that are just disco, nothing else. I have quite a bit of just country and western as well. So I may end up doing those too, since there seems to be a fair amount of interest in disco 45s. This one here was on the very top of this spindle originally, Jumpin' Jack Flash. I moved it down just a few because I wanted to start off with that Eric Clapton. But this is a beautiful 45 to have if somebody hadn't written their name all over it. Now, this is not the individual whose name is signature is found on a lot of these in these two spindles. This is someone else. So this one might have been given to her, or who knows how she acquired it. But it is in very good shape. The grooves are clean. It sounds really nice. So glad to have another copy of that. I do have better copies of that label-wise. And there again, if you go to the channel's homepage and look at the playlist, you'll find there's a video of just Rolling Stones 45s available to be seen there. Or like I said, up there in the description, expand that description down, you will find links to all these playlists on the channel for all the 45 RPM vinyl records that I have filmed thus far and put up. And there will be grouped by band, and you will find the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Bob Dylan, Elvis, all in that playlist. So here we've got an Elvis one. Gotta love Elvis. Always nice to see old Nipper there. This has got a color picture of him, which is unusual. Well, it's not necessarily unusual, but uncommon. And a song called Judy, which I'm not familiar with. I'm thinking that's the A side, but it's quite possible that There's Always Me could have been the A side as well. I'm not familiar with either one of those songs, which it's unusual if you just come across a couple Elvises that they're not songs you notice. But actually here in this stack, I've got a couple Elvises, and I aren't really familiar with them. You'll see this one's got him listed as with the Jordanaires, as did not the A-side. Ooh, I said as did, but no, the A-side did not have the Jordanaires on it, but the B-side did, which that's interesting to take note of as well. All right, and then here we've got our other Elvis one. There were only 2 Elvises in all of these stacks. And it's a song called I've Lost You. Horns and Strings by Virgin Wyatt. Okay, always nice when credit's given. And there's the same credit on the B-side here for The Next Step Is Love. So I know I rambled on a bit there at the start of this, so we didn't get to look at quite a few, quite as many of these as I'd like to have gotten in the first video. But I needed to give you some of that background, some of that, you know, history. I felt necessary about where I've got this stuff from. And here's the picture I was trying to get to come up. I got this blue one to show for you, but I didn't get the pink one to show properly. So there's a nice up-close shot of the disco case, not disco. All right, so hope you enjoyed that. There'll be a lot more, as you've seen from the pictures in the start of the video. I'm kind of excited to go through these with you because there's a nice variety of a lot of really good stuff and some oddballs. So hope you come back for part 2. Until then, have a wonderful day.